Welcome back once again to the StarCraft 2 World Championship Series. It is time for our winners match for Group B of the Americas group of WCS Spring Challenger Edition, Easter Edition, American Caster Edition. I'm Nathaniel, joined by Zombie Grub, and yeah, I think I've said as much as I can. Is there anything
to describe that?
Yeah.
We're all white. I mean,
yeah. We can,
that as well.
we can go. I'm just looking for as many degrees. Just give you guys as much detail as possible, since I know our commentary just hasn't been analytical enough for you. So I try to break it all down to the middle camera while speaking into the headset on my on the left side of my face.
It's neither analytical enough nor hype enough.
I
so
know.
Please, 10 times.
No, I'm trying. We're loading into the next game. It's PvP. Just kick things off. It's going to be Astrea versus PiLiPiLi. And yeah, you think this will be the cleanest series of our American group?
Nah, because it's PvP.
Yeah, but they could still play the matchup kind of normally, right? The last couple of matches have been
well, the ones with rough are all weird, but like I'm thinking like that Epic versus PiLiPiLi one, that
was still pretty weird.
It was weird in that a lot of mistakes were made.
Yeah, I still don't know that I thought the builds were that normal, but
okay, all right.
Might be onto something.
Okay.
We're loaded in the top left, wearing red, the Protoss. Well, they're both Protoss. He's PiLiPiLi. The Protoss.
He's the Protoss.
Dr. Pavel.
In the bottom right, as the other Protoss, it is the blue Protoss, Astrea.
Max Angel.
Oh my god, I just realized that one of us is Blizzard Obs.
Yeah.
A, right?
Yeah.
It's not even Obs. It's Ops.
Yeah. Well, it could be operations. That was the assumption I was under.
Why are we the only operations?
Because this PC is the one that's supposed to be the one that's kind of running it until we got an observer.
Nate, you're so smart.
I mean, it could also just been a typo. I'm just covering for whoever typoed it in the first place.
Well, you're either really smart or you're a really nice guy. There you go. There it is. All right. So, PvP.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Starting with the proxy pylon, or, well, yeah, proxy. I think it's still proxy. And he is going to use it. The probe is still there, waiting to slap probably Stargate down.
Yeah. Let's see what he goes for. It's nice to have you here casting with the Zombie Grub. I'm just waiting for the SC Reddit thread about in control bullying you now that Fear Dragon hasn't been here for a little bit.
Well, you know,
next step.
When two people, oh, it's not. Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But it's gonna be scouted.
Yeah.
So no matter what it was, it's gonna be awkward.
Is this that common that he would? Oh wait.
Oh gosh. Okay. I don't think it's that proxies are this common. Although, like, I mean,
that
PvP finding
path with the probe. I guess because he wanted to avoid stalkers in the middle of the map.
Well, I was gonna say because PiLiPiLi would.
Right.
So yeah. So PiLiPiLi, I want to say it's just a kind of aggressive in general, but then you also have someone kind of coming back like every time in a StarCraft.
Right.
And a lot of that default assumption is that they're going to be a little bit cheesy, a little more aggressive. So I definitely like that Astrea was scouting for it, and it could have been to avoid something in the middle of the map. It could have been only scouting for a pylon that is going to be used in the future. In this case, it found a pylon with a robo, and that's an excellent find. Astrea's going to put down his own pylon for the future. I'm pretty sure it's going to be used to warp into depths. By the way, because we were too busy complimenting each other, there was no wall-off from Astrea, which has kind of been coming into play, especially on the NA server, and I don't quite know why. I do that Puck and Astrea play all the time, and they both were doing it like...
Neeb's done that too, hasn't he?
Has he? Yeah, well, there you go.
Well, I do tune into one of the greatest Protoss streams on Earth, Rotterdam08.
Okay.
Wonderful. Yeah. I've been a subscriber for about 55 months. I think I just renewed. And he says that it can also be a mind game tactic to bait your opponent into thinking that you are amazing versus Adepts because you do not even care enough to do the wall off. You're like, man, Adepts are so bad, I don't wall off because they suck. Don't even try it, and then people get inside their own heads, and it's like, oh my god, maybe I shouldn't do it against this guy. He's a maniac. He's a psychopath.
I could see that. I was going to go with a mental game of, like, they want to deal with Adepts, but this is a weird start considering how Astrea, how much he knew. He was like, it was like he was on the, he wanted to be on the ramp, but he wasn't on the ramp. So he just got stuck, like, on this corner and lost a stalker, I would argue, very unnecessarily. But he does still hold top of his ramp. He will still have shield batteries. They both
players are going into Disruptor
Yes.
drop?
Yes, they are.
Okay. And there's literally nothing here to deal with this. So,
that's bad news.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah.
Cuatro.
Yeah, that's going to cause a recall.
Cinco.
That's nasty. Have adepts. That will still take some time to
Ocho.
deal with this.
9. Oh, wait, no, he's not there yet. Never mind. Sorry. Oh, 9.
There you go. That was brutal. It took away the Warp Prism for the micro on the front, reinforcements on the front, 3 adepts on the front. It also took away the presence of mind to actually do the attack.
Yeah,
so
PiLiPiLi's economy is it's down the drain. But
yes,
since both players are going for disruptors, I guess anything is still possible.
Yeah.
If he gets a shot in the middle of the entire army of Astrea and kills all of it, and then, I don't know, maybe?
No, you're right. You're right.
I don't know.
You're right. Like,
I mean, I'm a commentator. My job is to try and make this game seem more interesting than it is, right? So I'm trying.
By the way, I love that these adepts from Astrea have not been coming from that proxy pylon that he put down, but rather from his base. They've just been, like, sneaking out.
Yeah.
But they've been working.
Yeah. He could have used the proxy, but that would be too forward of him. So he cannot shade into the main because there is a full wall off at PiLiPiLi's base. PiLiPiLi trying to make a push onto this base. Now he did trigger the barrier on the Immortal. He's got to bring that prism back, and both players with their prisms here. Well, this is some dangerous territory. He's going to drop the Disruptor. Gets just 1 stalker with it, but the Immortal is dead. And how did Astrea?
Astrea's Disruptor got like 6 adepts.
Yeah, this is.
That's so weird. They dropped Disruptors on top of each other. And they both got their hits off, but Astrea was better.
Another Disruptor's out.
No, that's going to miss.
The prism to dodge.
Shield
I like it.
Low.
I like it.
Uh-oh. Pick it up. Oh, and it's still going on. Second Disruptor's going to get a hit. What? No. What? There's so few units. How is this still going on? Astrea is so close to being broken, actually. That Nexus might have been a little bit too greedy.
Yeah, the Immortal.
Oh, no. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Nice. Cool. All right.
The Immortal had to pop out, too. No, wait. No, Astrea. Astrea's got it.
Astrea needs the Immortal. There we go.
Yeah. No, not your own probes.
No, not your own probes!
And we're good. And it's okay. Astrea will hold. Oh, that's a micro bat I've not seen before. So few units. But PiLiPiLi not willing to give up yet. I mean, he doesn't even have another Disruptor on the way. I don't know. I would go with Disruptor for Immortal, right?
Yeah, I mean, that fight was like the biggest thing was because there was so much micring being done, picking up and putting down. It was like having the Immortal was really clutch just to bully the ground units back because the Disruptor shots weren't landing for either player. What is this? Okay, interesting attempt there, Astrea. Move across the map with the prism and try to do. I don't know. I mean, he has to kill his own wall before. Oh, slow warping!
Yeah.
Ouch.
That's what he was. That's what he wanted. Oh.
Yeah.
PiLiPiLi is dead here.
And goodbye, Warp Prism.
Although the Zealots are getting a lot of swipes off on the Stalkers. Still talking about 2 Immortals, 2 Disruptors, and more reinforcements for Astrea. That's not a great shot though. I mean, it was close, PiLiPiLi, but still down 20 army supply.
Don't kill him. Okay, solid control there. Very well done. GG, Astrea takes game number 1.
What a funky little battle. They had like 7 units apiece, and it was all about the Disruptor.
That was just so odd.
I love it.
Watching the 2 players, like their armies can't really kill each other that quickly because there's a lot of adepts and some immortals, but then it's like just picking up, putting down. Yeah. Both players with sieged prisms right next to each other. Beautiful thing.
And if PiLiPiLi had not lost like those 6 adepts to that one, that was the best Disruptor shot of that game. If they had been shading through to the main, like the actual mineral line or something, that could have been very different. Like, actually, I would say that Astrea was close to underestimating that. I think he was getting a little overconfident in the hold. And then it was just very fortunate that his Disruptor got an amazing shot and PiLiPiLi's did not. Fortunate or skill, you know, whatever, which one. But close. PiLiPiLi, not surprisingly, the aggressor. And that did start off, I guess, with Astrea's 2 adepts dealing an absurd amount of damage.
Yes. Yes, it did. Well, cutting off 9 probes in that situation was very, very, very big. And then he's terrified, so he blocks his own main base off, so he cannot even move anything out or try to expand. Oof. Big, big shot with the disruptor there. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, that was 6 adepts.
Ouch. Ouchie wawa.
PiLiPiLi probably going to be aggressive again somehow in this next game, is what I'm going to guess. But clearly Astrea was prepared for this. We did call Astrea to get up first when we saw this matchup. And, you know, PvP can be kind of weird. It still is like Astrea is just totally on guard against these cheesy guys today. He's not going to lose.
I think Astrea realized
right
that.
Here.
This is like the full NA group, right?
Yes.
Think about it.
Yes.
I mean, we make the jokes America's kind of includes everywhere, but for this group, these are our American players for the most part, and Astrea's like, all I have to do is not get dragged down into the slag pits of full NA, and I will be fine. So he's just trying to keep his head above water. It's like being in one of those places where it's like the water content is like very thick, it's very heavy or something.
The salt
to swim
tanks, yeah.
Well, it's easier to swim in
this.
It's easier to swim in the heavy salt water, right? Though, because you're more buoyant.
Yeah, you're talking about the isolation tanks, or are you talking about quicksand? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking like quicksand.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, like just some sort of sludge that pulls you down. Gotcha. And he's like, just got to keep your head above, you know.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, keeping your head above water or quicksand, whatever it is literally probe scouting. Yeah. And not just like your opponent's main base, but like everywhere.
In my brain, like I'm not a PvP expert, but when I see the way that he went and put that pylon on the side and then went straight to where the proxy was, I was like, I guess in PvP that's just the spot, right? In my brain, because I'm like in TVT on this map, I would always say, yeah, of course, north of my main, that's where he's going to proxy if he proxies, right? So I guess it's a similar principle for PvP. Anyway, we're loaded in on the left side of the map. He's the Protoss. He's in red. He's PiLiPiLi.
In the top right, as the blue Protoss, he is Astrea.
Max Angel.
Going with the non-wall off again. You know, we kind of talked about the kind of funny mental game that can occur here. But it also, like, it can be annoying when you're being attacked on one base and they have that War Prism, so the high ground's available, and then their Immortal just, like, slams away at your gateways. That's an extra 150 or 300 minerals if they both go down, and all that time not producing, right?
Yep.
So I do wonder if this is a direct, like, you are going to attack me on one base, and I do not want to deal with that headache. And he's willing to deal with Adepts in some other way, which, you know, usually is just having a show battery and some units. But PiLiPiLi didn't even try to Adepts in that one game, did he? I mean, he got Adepts, but he didn't actually get in the mineral line.
No, he got caught by the stalkers.
Yes,
he killed the sentry. He killed the sentry, but
yeah, that did happen. Anyways, but it's a wall up that's not actually hurting him, despite how necessary we've considered it for PvP. The entirety of Legacy of the Void.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, the best players are still going to be able to abuse that, but I think it also just comes down to maybe the meta is shifting. Like on ladder, maybe these players don't see the Adept openings as much, and they'd rather not deal with having the front exposed or not being able to SimCity.
It's something I do wonder about.
There was a high level match where we saw someone do this recently, and it escapes my mind. I want to say it was a Neeb match, but someone like put together like a kind of intricate setup that made it kind of hard for the Adept to get past the wall, so it was easier to catch with the rest of the units.
Like a maze, like tower defense.
Yeah, something like that. Like there was a little bit of SimCity action going on.
Okay.
Right. Like, I guess, you know what, if I were to look at, say, like Astrea's base, right, like the right side, kind of hard to get around there, I think.
It is walled.
So
we're close to it.
You'd force the Adepts to go around the left side, so it gives you just a little bit more control over where they'd probably end up.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm not
I'm
not gonna claim to know everything about this particular matchup.
Well, PiLiPiLi is once again just going with the 2 Adepts first, so maybe they do get in the main base. The Stalkers are looking for something. They're not. They're catching the Adepts. There's actually pretty severe mistiming right there. So maybe look at a couple probes, but then he doesn't follow up with them. He doesn't go into like the 6 Adepts with the Oracles, which I would feel would be extremely deadly against this type of, well, not wall off. So
he's going to recall as well, get the probes around.
Yeah.
He really does not want these Adepts to kill his workers. killing the one, of course, really nice because they do two-shot and actually kind of got stuck there, derped around. Only 3 probe kills. That's very nice for Astrea considering what could have happened.
Indeed it is. And now the Stalkers are in their proper place. They were right to look for a proxy of any sort. They didn't find it, and now they're back safe at home. Not just they're safe, but also the probes are now safe. The Oracle's not going to do anything with this this many Stalkers.
It is nice that he has the Stalkers at home already, though, because of that. So the Oracle comes in, does nothing. It's one of those things, I guess we don't talk about it crazy enough, but making the Oracle armored, it's a lot harder for the YOLO moves in PvP.
Very difficult. A forward probe. He does have an extra gateway on the way with no nexus, the PiLiPiLi, that is. Although he has a unit, he has a probe in position as if he is going to do something like a nexus.
He's starting up multiple pylons, getting a stasis ward.
Yeah.
Which basically screams, I'm going to try to kill you.
But the Lucid Phoenix, if it went to the natural first, I guess, is maybe where like he would be like, oh, I'm totally taking the natural. But that doesn't work out at all. The third gateway is seen, although he doesn't realize what exactly is in front of his base. There's literally a trap ready to go as soon as Astrea thinks that he has the lock on an Oracle or something like that, or these 2 Stalkers seem so easy to kill. He's gonna run into it. I don't think he knows anything about it.
Yep, all right, so the Oracles are going to go over, target down the sentries. They get all of them, but there's a battery and Stalkers here for Astrea to defend against this. Is he going to have to pull the probes? We're going to find out in a moment. The battery is out of energy, but there's an Immortal here.
Yeah, so the PiLiPiLi walks into force fields and has no use of a stasis trap and just completely bombs out of that fight.
Astrea
takes
quick, cheeky 2-0. He's out of the group in first place. Congratulations. The American Protoss player doing very well for himself. We had high hopes for this kid, and he's delivering.
Yeah.
I think as far as our American players go, and we talk about the ones that are looking better and better as time goes by, he's got the skills, and this wasn't one of those games where you style on someone with the 11 base, 19 DT warp in, but he held this PvP push very, very nicely.
I really thought PiLiPiLi was going to bait him with 2 or 4 Stalkers, be like, oh no, I underestimated you. And then if 4 Stalkers are out of the equation, I feel like this is at least closer, although the Immortal's always going to be a big chunky boy that was probably going to save him. But instead it was I hesitate to use the word laughable, but it was easy. Astrea made it look easy because the force field's just like, yeah, let's take this fight.
It did.
Big ol' hug.
It did look really easy for him, especially once the Immortal popped out. So really well done. Astrea out in first place, like we said. That means that PiLiPiLi will fall down to the decider match. PiLiPiLi against Epic will be a rematch of their first series in today's group. That is coming up next. You're watching the StarCraft 2 World Championship Series.